Will the telehealth boom continue in a post-COVID era? Bertha Coombs takes a look. Bertha.
Well, John, investors are certainly betting that we are at an inflection point in telehealth. Take a look at Teladoc. That's the pure play in this space. It is bucking the trend this week, one of the few healthcare stocks that is higher. Analysts over at RBC say that it remains the leader in this space and has actually seen its market share grow to 55% over the last couple of months, up from 50% at the same time last year. That's still a big jump from a year ago. They say Teladoc shares actually fell in the last 3 weeks, though, as we've seen more doctors' offices reopen in states that are open. Analysts over at United Health's advisory board say that they've seen a fall of about 30 to 50% in early May on the usage, but it's still way up from where it was a year ago. And the competition is up, too. Doctor on Demand has also seen growth, as has Amwell, which provides a platform for hospitals to brand their own telehealth offerings, and a lot of them are doing that. And just last month, Microsoft joined the fray with its own telehealth cloud offering of its own for hospitals. One key to maintaining all of this momentum is going to be whether the government and insurers continue to pay up. During COVID, they've been essentially paying at parity for telehealth visits. It's unclear whether that's going to continue. Patients have certainly embraced the technology, but here too we're continuing to see the social and economic disparities of health, where you see that people with higher incomes have used it more during the pandemic and greater adoption there than with people at lower incomes. One doctor at a Palo Alto clinic told me her lower income patients just have not been able to utilize it because they don't have good broadband. And you can't really see that doctor face to face if you don't have a good connection. John?
Yeah, Bertha, that's one of the things I was wondering about. From your reporting, would you say the reimbursement is the key structural issue that'll determine how sustainable this is? What are the things that are really going to make a difference in whether this is sustainable or it's just kind of a pop that fades?
The reimbursement is a key one. A lot of doctors essentially were slow to adopt it because they don't get reimbursed as much for a telehealth visit as they do for an in-office visit. A lot of folks are saying, Jason Gorvick, who's actually the CEO of Teladoc, says he doesn't think that they're going to continue to pay at par. These visits can be much more efficient, but he does think that you're going to see a commitment to paying for these. A lot of doctors, one of my neighbors is a doctor, and she says, I can do a telehealth visit in only about 10 minutes as opposed to a 20-minute or a half-hour visit for the same ills in person. So a slightly lower reimbursement might be okay. A lot of doctors, particularly those who work with very low-income patients, would like to see better reimbursement for telephone visits. That's what the New York Health and Hospitals Association, which is the safety net program here in New York, that's how they conducted most of their televisits with their patients. That doesn't meet everyone's needs, but for a quick follow-up and for people with chronic care, that will happen. So the whole issue of reimbursement is going to be key here going forward.
Yeah, that's going to be big. People buy online when they can get the same product for a good experience. Bertha, thank you.